WRSR, Owasso, Flint. The following program has been pre-recorded and is paid for by Discover Flint Township. The views expressed are those of Discover Flint Township and do not necessarily reflect the views of 103.9 The Fox or Krill Communications, Inc. Welcome to Discover Flint Township, a program showcasing our local community. Flint Township is ready for your next move. And now, your host, Flint Township Economic Enhancement Director, Tracy Tucker.
You're listening to Discover Flint Township, brought to you by Flint Township Economic Development Authorities, HAP, Financial Plus Credit Union, Shea Automotive Group, and 103.9 The Fox. We're wide awake, and we hope you are too. We are talking today to Nathan Adams from Financial Plus Credit Union. Hi, Nathan. How are you today?
I'm very good, Tracy. How are you?
I'm very, very good. And I wanted you to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell our listeners what you do at Financial Plus Credit Union.
Okay. I'm the Director of Commercial Services, and I manage a small group of business commercial loan officers. And so I oversee kind of the business lending side for Financial Plus, and we help members with acquiring businesses, financing equipment, buildings, working capital.
Great. Well, that's wonderful because, all the businesses out there right now, especially with everything that went on with COVID, have issues financially and they're looking for help. So they would come to you, right? And with their questions?
Yes.
All right, cool. But today you wanted to talk about business succession planning. Is that right?
Correct.
So here's a first question. What is that?
Well, ironically, I found this statistic from the Small Business Administration that in the next 10 to 15 years, approximately 70% of privately owned businesses with an estimated net worth of $10 trillion will exchange hands. Mm-hmm. So that number kind of was quite staggering to me, kind of as, baby boomers age and they have companies that they need to sell. And I think succession planning is one of those things that people think about but don't ever do anything with because there's a lot to it. And nobody really likes to think about how they're selling their business or how they're exiting. So
Right.
But it's and something that you have to.
Yeah, and a lot of them don't have family coming behind them to take it over, right? The kids are
Correct.
Going into something else, or
Yep. Or the kids are in the business and they don't have the right skill set to kind of run and grow the business or own the business themselves.
Right. So if you're in a position where you're thinking about this, how can they plan to exit their business safely and
Sure.
keep the business going?
Yep. So really, you've got four options. One is kind of what we just talked about, transferring the business to your heirs. But really, the questions to ask are, do you have a family member who wants to step into your role? What types of roles will family members who are not actively involved in the business play? Do family issues regarding the business need to be resolved? And then where do the funds come to buy mom and dad out? So option two would be to sell the business to your partners. And part of that process would be, do you have a buy-sell agreement in place? Do you have life insurance that's set up to basically fund the sale of the business if something were to happen to a partner? Or option three would be sell the business to a key employee. And then what steps do you take today to make that key employee ready to buy the business? Or option four would be to sell the business to an outside buyer.
Right.
And how do you go about doing that? hire a broker? Do you network? So
yeah, and how do you find an interested party? And I'll let you in on, or let our listeners in on a little secret. We get calls. My office does. I am the economic development person for Flint Township. So I get calls from people who have a business that are looking to leave it, don't have family, just like you were talking about, don't have somebody to come in after them, and they're looking for a buyer. And I know that the county chamber gets those same calls. So if somebody out there is listening that's interested in acquiring an already established business, give me a call at the office or email me at the office, and we can try to help you out and get you in touch with these people that are doing it. But you're talking about dealing with the person that has the business right now. So how do they determine what that business is worth to even come up with a proposal for buyers?
Yeah, so really there's three ways to do it. Just kind of on an asset valuation, equipment inventory, real property, intellectual property, or doing a valuation on income based on current revenues plus, future revenue growth, and then kind of a market value based on recent sale prices of similar businesses in the area. So similar thought process to an appraisal of a home or a business, real estate wise, but but one of the key factors, based on my experience, is finding really an independent third party to provide that valuation. So a business owner always is going to overvalue his business, and the incoming buyer is always going to undervalue it.
Sure.
So it's always important to find a third party business valuation company, which many CPA firms in the area actually have practices that are set up to do these business valuations. So I think that's one of the key things.
Is that something you can help the businesses to find somebody like that?
Yes.
That's part of your process? Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
So when should they prepare for this succession? I mean, you're not going to sit here and say, you know what, I'm done, and tomorrow I'm selling to the first person who comes along, right? So how far in advance should you be looking to prepare?
Yeah, really probably, I would say 10 years out thinking about it. If you have a partner and you don't have a buy-sell agreement, that would be something that needs to be taken care of immediately. In terms of when do you start, and that life insurance policy that would fund, kind of the, death of a partner is important as well. But in terms of just beginning the process, if you've got somebody, say you've identified a key employee as somebody who might be your successor, it's starting to train that successor and give him or her the leeway to make some decisions, be involved in strategic discussions. What I've seen in the past is many, especially when there's family involved, mom and dad run the business. They allow their kids in only to a certain degree, and they never learn how to do, really what mom and dad are doing from a strategic point. And then all of a sudden they think that their kids are ready because their kids are in the business. So really training people inside your business to be ready to, manage the business if the owner steps away, or be able to buy it.
Yeah,
and then
and really offering them almost like a apprenticeship type thing for ownership, teaching them the ropes and what you do on a day-to-day basis. And, they might even get in there and say, I don't want to do this. You never know. So you want to know that, though, before you make the plan for them to take it over. So, and when you're creating this plan, how often should you review this?
Well, you should review it often. Much like a will or a trust, things change. Life seems to change faster than ever. And really, you probably need to review it at least annually in terms of, are you on the right path? Where are you from a timing standpoint of wanting to exit the business? So really annually probably would be the answer.
Okay. And they can contact somebody at your office, or they can contact their CPA, but you will help them through this. And I imagine that there's other banking institutions that would do that as well. But if somebody wants to get a hold of you, Nathan, for you to help them out, can you give out a email address or phone number, or how do you want them to get a hold of you?
Yep, I would say phone number, and it's 810-244-2801, and then my email address is N as in Nathan, NAdams@myfpcu.com.
All right, so great. That's wonderful. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about before we leave off?
No. That's
all right. All right. Well, thank you for coming on. And if anybody has any more questions about that, you can email Nathan at nadams@myfpcu.com, or you can contact him at Financial Plus Credit Union at 810-244-2801. Thanks for being on today, Nathan.
Thanks, Tracy.
All right. Have a great day. All right. What a great interview with Nathan. Today we are going into our Guaranteed Rate Business Spotlight segment. And our Flint Township business that we're spotlighting today is John P. O'Sullivan Distributing. And today I have Joanie O'Sullivan-Butler with me. Hi, Joanie. How are you?
Good, Tracy. How are you today?
I'm very good. And it's been a while since I've seen you with all the COVID and everything, So it's nice to see you in person.
Yes.
But my listeners haven't met you before. So why don't you introduce yourself and let everybody know what you do at John P. O'Sullivan.
Well, I'm Joanie O'Sullivan-Butler. I am the president and owner of John P. O'Sullivan Distributing right here in Flint Township.
And this is a family-owned company, right?
Yes. It was previously my father's business, and I have been president since 2016.
That's great. It kind of fits in with what we were just talking about, the succession
does.
planning with Nathan.
Does, yes.
Yeah. So now the business was started, though, by your father. Is it your uncle that was in business with him, or was it your...
So my father was John O'Sullivan, and he had a friend, actually, a high school friend that he went into business with, and his name was Michael Sullivan. So it worked out really well, and they came up with the name Sullivan and O'Sullivan.
Right.
They started in 1976 was when they bought the business and started over on Coldwater Road.
That is so funny. I knew that it was called Sullivan and O'Sullivan for a long time. I never realized that they weren't related.
No, they were just coincidence, good friends.
That is really funny.
Yeah.
They probably shared a locker in school.
I think so.
So you started on Coldwater Road. Well, how did you get involved in the business?
So, just growing up, I was always over at the business. Started in some odd jobs here and there in high school, and then I went away to college, and then also went to law school, and came back in 2005. Became part of the business, doing all sorts of jobs over there to get to know it.
Yeah. So you did the training to you started at the bottom, worked your way up.
I did, even the can crusher a couple times.
Which, you know what, when you're in business, knowing every aspect of your business does help you know how to run that business. You know, there's a lot of people that do it that way. So you took over in
2005.
2005
was when I came back from school, and then 2016 my father passed away, so took over as president at that time.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to hear about that, because I know how that's rough. That's rough.
Yes.
And it's a hard way to end up in your job, but it happens.
It is.
Now, you started out on Coldwater Road. How long have you been in Flint Township?
So they built the warehouse that we are in today back in 1980, and it's a large precast concrete warehouse, and we're right across the street from UPS and near Signs by Cranny down on Marketplace. So a couple of years ago, we actually expanded and added on a brand new cooler, added on a whole new wing of the warehouse. So that was just 2018.
Wow. I didn't realize it was that long ago.
Yes, because you helped us on that.
Yeah, that was really how I had met you, was starting off with that. And I will mention that Joanie is also one of my bosses. She and she was recently named the secretary for the Flint Township, I can't even talk, Downtown Development Authority, or the Flint Township DDA. And so she has to deal with me quite often, poor thing.
Well, it's not too hard, Tracy. I'm happy to be part of it, and happy I got the little promotion to secretary. That was a nice surprise.
You know, people don't realize that the people that serve on that board are all volunteers. So they're all volunteering in a way to help their community, and they're almost all of the members on that community are business owners that basically pay the taxes that fund it.
Yes.
So it's nice to have them on there and working to help other businesses in our area. So I kind of got off track, and I do that quite often too, but that's okay. So you guys started out and just servicing, you started out on Coldwater Road. Now, were you just servicing Genesee County, or?
Right. Well, so when we started out, we were just servicing Genesee and Lapeer County, and at that time, Stroh's out of Detroit was the big brand that we sold. But then a little brand called Miller Lite started in 1976, and so that really took off and changed the whole face of the business, and really the whole face of the beer industry. It was the first light beer on the market.
Yeah, and up until that point, and I hate to bring up a competitor, but I think up until that point, Tom Ryan was the big dog in the area, right? Uh-huh. And let me give full disclosure here. I used to work with people that had the Michelob light balloon.
Oh, yes.
We used to fly that over everything. But and then Sullivan O'Sullivan broke on the scene doing the Strohs, and then Miller really brought you guys a lot of business, didn't it? Yeah. And then so now you've increased the brands that you sell and your distribution area, right?
We have. So over the years, we've now cover 11 counties in Michigan. So most recently, we purchased the Thumb area. So we service all the way out to Port Huron, and we service north to Bay, Midland, and Saginaw counties.
Wow.
And the brands just keep growing and growing. We've picked up Sam Adams over the years. Coors became very popular. Our latest, most popular brands now are the new seltzers on the market. So we do a lot of Truly, a lot of White Claw. Those have been very popular.
And Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Yes, Mike's Hard Lemonade is one.
Not that I would drink that,
yes.
but you know. We are, I'll let people know, we are taping this on St. Patrick's Day, so there might be some references.
Yes.
But yeah, so you have Sammy Adams, Mike Hard Lemonade. Oh, you have as a Magic Hat? So you got some of the craft beers?
We do. We do carry some Michigan craft beers. Atwater is one of our biggest ones.
Forgot about that.
We have Griffin Claw out of Birmingham area, and Grand Armory is one that's been really popular, and they're out of Grand Rapids.
Nice. So you really have everything anybody could want.
Yes. And we're starting actually to get into non-alcoholic products too. So we are picking up more better for you energy drinks. And we're really excited. We're picking up one that is coming out called Zoa, who Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He's the owner, and he's a big spokesperson for it. So we'll be starting to carry that here next month, and we're excited. It's a zero sugar, good for you energy drink. So.
Great. And so you're going to bring him here to our show to do a little promo, right?
We're all big fans of The Rock.
Love Dwayne Johnson. Who doesn't like him? Come on. He's the best. So also, now you guys don't sell to the public, right? You're a distributor. You sell to bars, restaurants, stores, all of that. If one of our listeners has a store or bar or restaurant and they want to sell any of the products that you have or any of these new products that are coming on board, who do they contact to help them out?
They can contact us at the office. Our number there is 810-733-7090. And we also have a webpage, www.jposullivan.com. And we have a area there that they can send in an email to contact us, and that's a good resource. It has all of our products on there, all of our new products coming in. So that's probably the best way, those two ways.
Yeah. And when you did your expansion a couple years ago now, you added new coolers and a little bit of your recycling area.
We did, yes.
And was it bays where you could stock your trucks and things like that, trying to help with your distribution?
Yes.
And it was a long fight, but we worked together and got some incentives from the state for them to help them expand, which was great because usually when you hear about incentives or tax breaks or anything like that, it's usually for businesses coming from outside, coming in. And we like to try to help our existing businesses that are here, that have stayed with our community, like yours since, you've been here since the 70s. We like to try to help you guys expand as well and to take advantage of some of these things. And I say it was a long haul because it took us almost 2 years to get it approved by the state, but they did approve it. And I would remind anybody out there, if you have a business and you're looking at expansion, give me a holler because we'll try to help you out.
Yes, Tracy is the expert on this now. After we put her through the ringer on this for 2 years, but it did. It all worked out.
Yeah, it
was
did.
A long process.
It was, but it was worth it because it helped you guys expand and add jobs. I mean, you added, how many jobs did you guys end up adding?
We added about 30 jobs as a result of that. And actually, we are still hiring now. It's very hard to find truck drivers and warehouse workers. And so if you're in the market and you have a CDL, please come by and apply. We are looking.
Yeah, there you go. And go on their website or email me at ttucker@flinttownship.org. I'll get you in touch with them. And sometimes we'll post their job opportunities on our Facebook page too. So if you go to @Flint Township Events, sometimes they'll post jobs with us as well. So 30 jobs is nothing to sneeze at.
Yes.
And it's great to have you guys there. Did COVID give you guys any problems? I mean, you guys are still delivering? You were still delivering to stores?
We are. We were lucky that we were deemed essential workers as part of like the grocery distribution industry. COVID has been crazy. We lost overnight 30% of our business when the bars and restaurants were shut down. The grocery stores made up for it, thankfully. But it has been an interesting year dealing with problems from the suppliers, everything from cardboard shortages, cans shortages, glass. I mean, every day it is something. So we're just taking it day by day, but we're very thankful that we've been able to stay open through all of this.
Yeah, how has it affected the small businesses that you're dealing with? Are you seeing them all come back online now, or?
Unfortunately, some of the small bars and restaurants, no, not yet, and we hope that they will all be coming back online. But that is a real concern.
Struggle.
COVID has been very hard on that industry.
Yeah. Well, they're small businesses. A lot of them family owned, and
Yes.
And comes down to taking care of your family or keeping a business open. What the choice is going to be. So.
Yes.
Let's think. What else did I have to talk to you about? Because, I kind of lose my way every once in a while. We have already talked about you being on the DDA board, and we just had our Discover Flint Township Bunny Trail, which was fantastic. And I'm going to say that because it hasn't happened yet. But when this airs, it will have happened, and it will have been the best event you've ever seen in the world.
Agreed.
But we're having like 33 stops on the trail, so it should be fantastic. But since I'm just rambling now with no reason, I'm going to ask you, is there any last thought that you have? Anything you want to discuss other than what we discussed?
Tracy, I think we went through a lot here. Yeah.
To kind of put her through the ringer. So we have next week, we are going to have on, me. You get to hear me again. Me and Dion from Guaranteed Rate. She's going to be on. We're going to have some discussions, and we're going to have a special guest for our Guaranteed Rate Spotlight. And we have great partners here at Discover Flint Township. We have HAP, Shea Automotive Group, Financial Plus Credit Union, and obviously Guaranteed Rate they signed on, and 103.9 The Fox. I sit here and I think about all the things that they've helped us with over the years, and also some of the new businesses that have come in. There's just so many things to talk about. So we'll be talking about a lot of that next week. I did want to mention that we had Jersey Mike's opened. McAllister's Deli's getting close. So you'll see their building going up next to Culver's. And we've got American Freight open. Value City went in our van. So we've got a lot of new things going on. But I think we're at about the end of our day today. And I want to remind our listeners that you can email any questions that you want us to discuss on the show, or if you have any questions about something that's going on in the community, you can email me at discoverflinttownship@gmail.com. You can visit us on Facebook at Flint Township Events, FLINTTWPEVENTS. We have a YouTube channel now, and we're putting all our videos up there of going through some of our businesses. And we also have all the radio shows in full, or you can just get the clips of just a single interview. And the YouTube channel is, guess what? Discover Flint Township. I know you're amazed, Joanie, that, I'm very creative that way. And then we have our webpage is discoverflinttownship.com. and flinttownship.org, so flinttownship.org. And I need to thank Nathan Adams from Financial Plus Credit Union for coming on today, and Joanie O'Sullivan-Butler from John P. O'Sullivan Distributing. Thanks for coming out, Joanie.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And I just want to let everybody know, I'm Tracy Tucker, the Flint Township Economic Enhancement Director for Flint Township, and I would like to remind everyone to stay safe, stay healthy, shop local, buy local, and discover Flint Township. We'll see you later.
This has been Discover Flint Township with Tracy Tucker. For more information, visit discoverflinttownship.com. Flint Township is ready for your next move. The preceding program was pre-recorded and was paid for by Discover Flint Township. The views expressed are those of Discover Flint Township and do not necessarily reflect the views of 103.9 The Fox or Krill Communications, Inc.